here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up, that's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Who? Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish. Come here, little guy. Come here, my little boy. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are, of course. How are we all doing? Everyone well? Did you have a good weekend? Willie's here. Tom's here. Terry with a roll call. We're all in the house. Excellent. Dana's here as well. The gang is rolling in. How are we all doing? Okay. We've got our heel transition there. We've got to shape that guy. But you can see it gives it a little bit of character. And I've got some brass that I'm going to cut into there and inlay into the middle there, which is going to be used for the binding on the body as well. So we've got the binding pretty much done. There's a couple of little spots I've got to re-glue because one's slipped and it's a little bit off center. You can see there's a little gap there. I've just got to push that down a little bit. I'm going to steam that later and just soften that glue up and push that down. But otherwise, that's the kind of fit that we're getting. Okay, we need to shape that now and get that fitting nicely so that we can have pretty much the finished product. Now I've got a little bit of glue in there to close that gap. Everything else is done around the edges. The binding is on, as you can see. We've got to clean that guy up. It's going to glue that little piece in there, let that sit. Grey Dog resubscribed. Thank you very much, Grey Dog. 36 months. Birthday. Whose birthday is it? Is it a birthday? Are we celebrating birthdays? Happy birthday. Soon you'll receive a squashed blueberry muffin and melted candle in a very... Yes, that's true. That's what we dish out here. So, there we have it, right? Coming along nicely. Starting to shape up. Okay, now we're going to do some carving here. And we're also going to do a little bit of... We're going to get this body glued up first. This last little piece in the puzzle to close that gap up. And then we're going to finish rough carving this heel. And then we're going to get onto the acoustic neck. We need to route a truss rod cavity in that and get that neck cut out and shaped. Slowly but surely. We need to get a fretboard for that organised as well. I do have a fretboard. Have I slotted that fretboard? Indeed I have. It's already slotted. That's the fretboard for that guy there. That rosewood fretboard. We're going to marry that up and recheck things and get things moving. Anyway, let's get on with it, as they say. Let me throw this in the bin. Doink. And let's get cracking. Let's get cracking, as they say. Let's flick over to the bench. Marky Mark in the house. What's going on? Good to see you. Terry, thank you for the gifted sub too earlier on. That was very kind of you, of course. Right, where are we? We're down here. Let's move this down here a little bit like so. Let's get this guy sorted out here. And let's glue this little bit in here. Just want to clean that out. Grab a little file. Particular file I'm going to use is a little diamond file. Here it is. It's going to make sure this little edge in here is clean. close that little gap up. Once we sand that and fill it with, coat the body, you won't see any gaps. It'll be nice, very nice, as they say. Okay, that's ready to go. Let's pop some glue on this guy. I'm going to stick that guy straight in there like so. Get that nice and flat. Make sure that sits nicely. Sort of right. Let me just flatten that out a bit. Wunderbar. That's good. That'll slot right in there. Okay. Cool. Get some glue. Glue that in. Leslie's in the house. Leslie, what's going on? Woohoo! See, Blizz, what is happening? Here's looking up your old address indeed. Good to see you, my friend. What is that now? 36 months. Happy birthday to you. Is it 38 months? 38 months. Well, belated birthday. 3 years of support from the Sea Blizz. You're going to get a cake, a squashed blueberry muffin with a melted candle sent in the mail. Express post. Get this guy glued up, as they say. Make sure it's tight and downward pressure is applied. So we don't make a mess of the body. Wonderful, that's good. Wunderbar. One more in here. Okay, that's good. Now, we can pop this guy away and we can work on the other stuff. Okay. Check out Rage Guitars. Where is that man? Is he in here? Rage, Rage. Where are you, Rage? So, here is my heel. 3 layers. 4 layers. 1, 2, 3. No, 3 layers. 4 layers if you include the body. So we've got the neck, which is Tasmanian blackwood. We've got camphor laurel, a nice little flame piece of camphor laurel in there. We've got purple heart. We've got camphor laurel cap. Now, we're going to put a little bit of brass beading in there, but first we've got to get this shape right. So I'm going to do some carving around here with some files. I'm just going to blend that in because we're almost there. We just want to blend that last bit in there. So, getting that nice and round, and then we're going to fix the top. windy day today, so if you hear any noise outside, it's just the wind crashing and banging and doing all sorts of weird, wonderful things on in the yard. Get this roughed out, like so. Scrape the bumps out. Okay. Now we get a finer file. Smaller teeth, please. Smaller teeth. And that's just to finish off and just check the blend. Top half. Semicircle. final refining here and get that perfectly symmetrical. It's pretty close, pretty close. It's actually spot on. It's very, very good. Just needs a little bit of refinement. Just going to put a bevel on the edge because those sharp edges on camphor laurel tend to chip. So we just take a bevel to that edge. Just take the sharp edge sharpness off that. Like so. Grab some paper. Where's that paper? Paper. NetNode, what's going on? Thank you very much for the gifted sub to Mav's in the house. Mav, thank you for the 20 bits. Very good. Good to see you guys. Follow chat. You better follow chat. Just going to grab a little bit of paper. Give it a bit of a spritz. Spritz! I like to use these little rolls because I can get a little tiny finger in there like that. And it gives me a good control around the bends. So put a little roll on there, and I like to just feel as I go with my finger. So, what I'm going to do now is to spritz that a little bit with some spirits, just to have a look at any marks or gouges that we might have. Always fun to check out the latest project. Absolutely, it's always fun to have you here, my friend. So let me quickly douse this a little bit. A bit of a splooge there, and let's wipe this guy down. You can see all the tone, the colouring. See the colouring? And you can see where it connects. There's a nice dark band in there. That's okay. That's just the wood. And it's blending in quite well. You get a lot of variation in colour and tone. It needs a clean up here. There's a big scratch in there. And a little bit here on the edges. But other than that, it looks pretty good. So that's our little heel transition that we've adopted. What am I going to do? It's pretty good. Excuse me. What I do want to do is engrave right down the middle of that purple heart. I want to engrave a little 1mm gouge or circle and put a little bit of brass in there. That's also going to go around the outside edge of the body. For those that haven't seen the body, here's the body. So we're going to pop a little bit of a 1mm binding in wire on the inside of the maple to just pop that metal. You've got gold hardware, a little bit of brass around there, the white wood, of course. Get that guy all sorted out and matching and blended, and it should turn out good. It looks okay. It looks okay. It could look better. I don't think the woods I used are the best choice, but it's okay. It's not bad. Just going to scrape some bumps out that I can see. This needs a lot of sanding, obviously, to get it perfectly flat. It feels pretty good, though. Just smoothing out that transition so that you get a nice even curve through there. You can fit that guy in there, and you can see there's not much daylight in behind there. It fits that curve nicely. It's about an inch transition. There's a bump there, there's a little bump, so I'm going to keep working at that just to smooth that out. This is the finer part of the sanding. You've got to get this right, otherwise when you finish the surface it will actually stand out. The imperfections tend to pop a little bit. That's why I wet this as I go, just a little bit to see where the mild imperfections are. There is a bump right there. Scrape that. That's the bulk of it, pretty much done. What we want to do now is put this away. We're going to grab our acoustic neck, this guy here. We're going to start working on that guy because we need to get that rolling and cracking in a good way. So let me put this over here. Okie dokie, let's change things up a little bit. Catch up with the chat. Are you all well? Good. It's pretty windy here. Space Bats, what's happening? We're doing well, man. How you doing? Good to see you. Special details, just little things. There's our neck. You can see that purple heart's going to look nice. With a little bit of gold hardware on there, she should look pretty good. We've got our heel there now. Okay, there's the heel transition. I've got to just clean up little gaps and little scratches and what have you on the edges, but I'll do that when I fit that neck. I'll blend that in once it's actually glued in, and that way I can make little adjustments to the contour of the body. We don't want a gap where it joins the body. We want it to be flush with the body. Hey BTM, what's going on? Excellent. So there's our little heel transition. It sort of matches the headstock nicely. It's a nice little touch, I think. I like it. It's a nice little touch. There's our neck. A little bit of finishing to go on that, and then we're up and away. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to prep this bench here so we can route and get this neck sorted out. So let's have a look at this neck firstly. I'll get you up on the bench again. And we're going to do some basic measurements and positioning some stuff to see where we're at with our excited. Better catch a bit of the stream. Oh, excellent. Good. Well, we're excited to have you, man. Workbench. But there is the guy. we're going to grab our template and we're going to check that guy. So let me just move this stuff out of the way, like so. Templates over here. Right, we've got our headstock up here. And what we need to do is we need to we need to line that up, get that guy sorted. So get a center line down here first. Let's do that, and we can prep this neck for what is to come. Big line needs a big rule. There's as big as they get. Well, they probably get bigger, but anyway, you get the drift. Let's sharpen this guy up. Let's take some measurements. Let's get some measurements in here. This is probably 3 inches or 4 inches wide. It is 4 inches wide. Way too wide for a neck. 106 millimeters. Actually, 107. That would make this roughly, well, not roughly, we're going to do it accurately, 58.5. 5, 6, 7, 8.5. Right there. That doesn't look right, does it? No. Yes. No, 53.5. What am I talking about? 53.5. Right there. Now that looks normal. That's the center there. Down here we've got 106, 107, 53.5 again. Join these two suckers up. Sucker punch these guys together. There's our center line. Whoops. Slippery doody. Slippery dude. Slippery doodah. Slippery doo. Get it right. Okay, there's our center line. You can see that center line. We're going to mark the headstock area as well. We want to make sure we're centered all round. Fatter up this end, 100 and, no, it's the same, 53 and a half, about there. Okay. Join this guy to the center line, like so. And we have it all the way down through there. Now, this guy. This is where our 0 fret is, where our nut slot. That's where the neck starts, begins, if you may, if you like. Is that even square? Of course it's not. It didn't look square either when I did it. Just a little bit off. Do that again. Now, so that's where this baby goes, right there. Okay. Center line to center line, that's where that goes. Let's mark that out. Rightio, chaps. So headstock. 22 on either side. She had 46, 23 on either side. Right there. So they move in a little bit. Neck there. Neck there. Okay, good. Scale. Where is our fretboard? Here it is. We prepared this one earlier. Leave a little space for the nut. Get our nut across there. Nut slot. Like so. Just join that there. And it begins. Center this guy up. That lines up beautifully. That's perfectly lined up with the edges of the that I've marked on the fretboard. So we're in the right place. In the right place. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, I'm going to have a look at this guy. Oops. We're going to mark some basic important thingy-bobs, as they say. 14th fret is very important. Why is that? Who can tell me? Terry, I'm going to quiz you. Why is the 14th fret important, Terry? $12, $13, $14. Why is that one important? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 frets. Earth bats. Are they like space bats, but just from Earth? Okay. That is where the body lines up with the neck or the joint. That is where it touches the body. Terry, 100%. 10 out of 10. Full marks for Terry. She'd be happy with that. She'll go home with a star on her hand and a smiley face stamp on her forehead, and everyone at home will be happy. That's how she used to come home from school, and everyone was happy when she did good things and got the answers right because she wanted to so badly. Am I right, Terry? Am I right, Terry? Of course I am. Yep, there you go. The diligent student. Terry was the diligent student. The good girl in class, but the bad girl out of class. Have I got that right, Terry? Probably not. Ha! Actually, I was. Yeah, I know you were. I can tell. I can tell from your work ethic. I can tell from your commitment to the task. Your OCD speaks volumes of the effort and the will to partake in celestially mind-blowing challenges. Okay, so if that's where the fretboard crosses over, it means that we need a little dovetail tenon joint in here. We're not going dovetail this time, or are we? No, we are going dovetail this time, because I've got dovetail templates. So, let me get those out. Let me get the templates out for the dovetail joint. Here they are, here they are, here they are. So this guy here is the thickness of the dovetail. It's going to be like that. And we're going to make it about an inch thick. But what I need to do is center this and mark out where it's going. So let's center this little guy like so. And we've got markings here. And are they in Chinese? Yes, they are. Because this was made in China, this template, I think. It's okay, it's just a 1 inch, it's a distance marker. I think it's 1.25 inches. I'll just double check that. It is indeed 1.25 inches. Terry, I must say, I just discovered that I've actually been paying attention to acoustic luthiers, and I've actually learnt something. 1.25 inches. So be it. We'll mark that out. There's actually marks on this template. And we know that's the start, and that's where it goes to. That's the size of the dovetail. There we have it. So that's our dovetail thickness. It's going to go that far. That's the edge of the body. That's the dovetail tenon on, and that's 1.25 inches. Right, we've got that marked down. Now we're cooking with microwaves. What does it mean? It means all this is spare. What do we do with this tip? I'm glad you asked. If you look at the acoustic template, let's have a look at the acoustic template, shall we? The acoustic template is one that is required. This guy here is the acoustic template. And this also has important markings like the 12th and 14th. So if we go to the 12th and the 14th, there it is there. Perfect. Perfect. We've actually got this lined up exactly. Everything is lined up where it should be. But you can see the 14th fret is this guy here. There's a line there, and it's exactly where we've marked the crossover. There is the back of the tenon. So it's not quite 1.25 inches. It's a bit shorter, but I'm going to make it 1.25 inches because I do believe that the block is at least 2 inches thick. Oh, no, hang on. Let me double check that. No, it's 1 inch. It's 2 inches, yes. It is 2 inches thick. So we'll double check that by getting the body. I'll just round this over to the body. Yep, we're good. We're good. We've got about 3/4 of an inch to play with in the head block after we cut away the joint, the mortise for that. So we're ready to go. We can actually cut this right down here now and glue these pieces underneath to make a stack this high. Okay? A stack thick this high. Now, if we want to get really funky, we can layer that with other timbers. We can put in ebony in the middle. We could have maple in the middle. strip of maple and ebony in the middle, and in between, everything else in between this guy. What would look really good is a Tassie oak slice, maple, about a 1/16 of an inch, a tiny ribbon of maple like this. A strip of rosewood, a strip of maple, and then finish off with this guy. I think that's what I'm going to do, a 3-layered heel. But first things first, I need to cut these guys up. So I'm going to allow a little bit of extra space here. I'm going to mark this out a bit further than I want to. And before I cut anything, I'm going to run the truss rod channel in because we need this extra leverage to trap that down, clamp it down so that we can have stability to cut that tenon. So first things first is I'm going to mark where I want to cut this. The thickness of this block here, 14th is there. Okay, so we're going to start here. So we need probably 2 pieces that are a bit more than 2 inches, 2.5. I'm going to be excessive and I'm going to go 3 inches. I think 3 inches. Okay. Starting from, get the angle right. There is an angle on this. About there. That'll run to about there and down. So I'm going to cut this guy up. Leave a bit of spare. I'm not going to cut it up yet. I'm just going to mark it. First cut goes here. And now we're going to mark 3 inches. 2 3-inch blocks. 3, 3, and then we'll have a bit left over as well if we want more. Mark that out. Mark that out. We're good to go. Now, I need a bit of rosewood. Terry, do I need rosewood? I think I do. Where am I going to find rosewood? Well, let's have a look, shall we? That piece there in the middle would be nice, but that's okay. We're not going to do that. In my little kettle of fish down here, we don't want purple heart. We want rosewood. We'll find rosewood. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry. Don't you fret. We will find rosewood. Indeedy. We've got a piece right here. That's a spare neck. No, not that one. You don't want to ruin that. There'll be a block of rosewood in here somewhere because I've cut lots of it. It doesn't really matter. We don't need to do that now. But I wanted to see what that looks like. And when I do, I'll be excited. use that, cut some strips. That's the piece I'm going to cut strips with. I'll find it later. It's okay. So I found a nice piece of maple. Got some nice flame in there. We're going to use that for the ribbons. We're going to cut this up now. What I want to do now is get a truss rod on here, mark out what we're going to do there. Get the truss rod out. Get the truss rod out. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. We're going to go down this way. We're not going to go through the tail block. We're going to go, or head block. We're going to go down into the headstock. Okay, I've got to get this right. Actually, yeah, that's fine. We'll go all the way through. So that's cool. We'll mark it as to there. Yeah, why not? Easy. Okay, that's cool. That's the end of that. The end of it is right down where we cut that guy. Truss, rod, truss, rod. Okay, we're good to go. Let's get the bench set up. Let's route that truss rod. Rage, I agree. The only problem with them is there's a lot of work to be done at the joint end. I know that all you've got to do is cut a slot in a notch in the fretboard and to access it. That's fine. I don't have a problem with them. As long as you're happy for it to be there, that's fine. Either way, it doesn't bother me. Either way, you've got to cut a slot and you've got to chisel out that T-junction for the wheel. I think they're good. I mean, if it's good enough for Fender for 100 years, it's good enough for anyone. So they all work. I mean, a solid steel, a solid ebony rod works as well. It keeps it from warping too much. Obviously, you don't have any adjustable controls, but yeah, I agree. You should be able to use that. No problem. I think they're good. I might try some myself, actually. I might stick to a Fender style. I just don't like cutting a slot out of the 24th fret, if you know what I mean. It means I need to use a little bit more fretboard than I want to accommodate the access. But think of it this way. You could be really clever and you could make a little cover if you wanted to and cover that up with a little bit of magnet. But then again, it's down where you're playing. Not that anyone's going to play past the 24th fret, but you know what I mean. Things can go wrong. It's best to leave it open. But it's just a personal preference thing. I think they're just as good, so I don't have any complaints. Yeah, see, look, Mark likes using them. I'm tired of the headstock too. Yeah, but you know what? It keeps me sharp. That's why I do it. It keeps me focused. It keeps me really focused, so that's why I like doing it. That's pretty good. That's not going to hurt us much at all. That's really good. Okay. Right. Let's get this wired up, hooked up, and done and dusted. There's my heel, Rage. You may not have seen it. That's my Purple Heart and Camphor Laurel sandwich heel for the Purple Heart neck, just for something different. Okay, it's a little bit rough still, but that's pretty much the shape. So we're going to glue that in, and then we're going to finish that off when it's pretty much close to gluing in. We'll have that finished off. You like that? It's different, isn't it? It's quite interesting. Very nice, as they say, as some people say. All right, let's move this out of the way. Let's get this guy up here. Nice and flat. Clamp it up. Clamp it up. Run amok. Right. That ain't moving. I will throw an extra one on there because that'll settle Terry down. Grab our new router, our big plunge router. This guy here. I'm going to use a brand new router bit. I haven't changed my router bits for a little while. Some of them are starting to get a bit blunt, but I've got a new one here I want to try. This guy here. I need a collar. Do I need a collar? I might need a collar. Let's have a look here. Let's see what we've got here. Oh no, that's fine. I've got the collar on there. The right collar's on there. That's good. This is adjustable. It's got a 9mm collar and or a 5/8 and a 1/4 inch. So you've got two options. Let me loosen this up. Just make sure that's the right size. Should be. Mil. Perfect. Ready? Tighten by hand. Then get the big guns onto it. Give it a bit of a turn. That ain't going anywhere. Rightio. Pistol grip, we need to get the rails on here. Get these rails on. see what we can do with this guy. Where we want it, right there. Tighten that down. And we're good to go. We are good to go. We want to stop. Where do we want to stop? We want to stop. Just going to make a mark, a reference mark. Because I can't see the marks because this is so big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop right here. Grab some tape. So basically, as I move down to here, and I get to here, I stop. Okay. Take a very shallow cut, first cut. Perfect. Plug this guy in. The beauty of this is it has a trigger, a safety trigger. You need to use the trigger to get it to work. It just doesn't go on with a PowerPoint switch. Now, for Terry's sake, I need to get a mask on and some goggles. Do you agree, Terry? Do I need a mask and glasses? Yes, I do. Yep, put a link in. Anything that Rage does can be linked here happily to do so. Okay, let's go. Are you guys ready? Ready. Testing. So when that reaches the edge, we stop. Stop right there. Make it easy by starting there. Nearly there. One more pass. Nearly there. Okay, one more. Get the width right. The one. Last one. Mark out the extra cutaway. Grab a chisel. Grab a chisel and just adjust the thickness where the main screw goes. Let me grab it. My chisels. Big fat guy. There. take that extra thread. There goes the router. It's alright, it's all on this box. Bit tight still, okay, a little bit more. We don't want it too tight, we just don't want it to be sloppy and loose. Just snug. Just shave the inside of that ever so slightly. This is the part that Rage hates, fiddling around with the headstock. Almost there, almost there. This is the part that Rage doesn't like. We just make that little channel a little bit deeper to fit that offset head, screw head. Vacuum that up. We should be right to go. going on? That's what we'll do next time. We've got this guy in there now. So these pits have got to come off. We're going to make that heel. I'm going to find a little bit of rosewood. I've got some flame maple. We're going to layer that heel, put a little section in the middle, a bit of a show section, bring that down, get that glued up, and then we can cut and carve this guy out. Cut my finger somewhere, but that's okay. We'll clean that up. There we have it. And that, folks, is that for another day. Thank you for being here. I'm going to see who's on. Let's have a look and see who's on. What am I doing? Let's raise somewhat. The only reason I'm rating is because it's a quick one to type. See you in a couple of days. I'll be back Monday, my time, which is Sunday, your time if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. Be good. Take it easy. I'll see you then. Thank you, everyone, and bye for now.